Welcome to God's Handiwork, our daily devotional. Remember that you are God's handiwork, created in Jesus Christ to do God's work, which God prepared in advance for you to do. This is Minister Alice from Dallas, Texas.
My question to everyone today is, where are you planted? Where is your faith? Where is your hope based in? Are you trusting and hoping in a job, in a person, or in things, in wealth, in the stock market, retirement funds? Where are you trusting and putting your hope in? My hope and prayer is that we are all putting our whole soul hope in God. I'd like us to read Psalms 92 verses 12 through 15. Psalms 92, 12 through 15. And I will be reading from the AMPC version. Verse 12. The uncompromising righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. The good thing I like about this AMPC is that it actually has explanation in parentheses. So this is what it says. The righteous, and then in parentheses it says uncompromising, shall flourish like the palm tree, meaning be long-lived, stately, upright, useful, and fruitful. They shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon, in a majestic, stable, durable, and incorruptible way. Verse 13, they are planted in the house of the Lord. They shall flourish in the courts of our God. 14, growing in grace, they shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be full of sap, of spiritual vitality, and rich in the verdure of trust, love, and contentment. Verse 15, they are living memorials to show that the Lord is upright and faithful to his promises. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. So this shows the benefits of putting all our trust in God. Like we talked about yesterday, the benefits of serving God, there are good things that come from it. And today's verse, we're talking about where are we planted? And it says what a palm tree is. When many of you who live in the States, in Florida, when we have all these tornadoes or windstorms next to the oceans, you see the palm tree bending to almost touching the ground, like the top almost touching the ground, but it doesn't break. Or for those who are from Kenya like me, in Mombasa, we see palm trees in different parts of the world. They're so beautiful, they're long, they're steady, but they're rooted like firmly in the ground. Even those tornadoes, those gusty winds, even when they are like 100 miles an hour, the palm tree is going to bend, but the tree will not break. And that's what it says the righteous are. Those who do not compromise their faith, they will flourish like that palm tree. They will grow like a cedar in Lebanon. They will be majestic, durable, and incorruptible. And it continues to say, when you are planted in the Lord, you will flourish. Meaning that even as you grow old, you will bear fruit in old age. Isn't that wonderful? When people think, when you turn 60 years, like here in America, 60 years, you can collect retirement. Or back home in Africa, people don't retire, we kind of still work and stay healthy and stay active. So there isn't really a retirement age. Although I guess it's cultural, it depends on where someone is economically. But the Bible says when you're planted in the house of the Lord, that you bear fruit even in old age, that you'll never just be stagnant. You'll always be growing. You will always have wisdom. You will always, when it comes to material things, you will still bear fruit. In whatever area in your life, you will always be a step ahead. You'll never go backwards. And it says that this will show that the Lord is upright and faithful to his promises. So as uncompromising righteous Christians, our livelihood, the way we live our life, reflects Christ. And his name is at stake. And that's why when we are rooted in him, he has an obligation to make sure that his name stays known as the God that takes care of his people, the God that supplies, the God that renews the youth, the God that flourishes his children, his people, the God that helps us stay as fruitful, full of sap, that we don't look wrinkled, we don't look haggard, we don't look disheveled. He's the God that makes us look nice and fruity and juicy and happy. He's the God that keeps our joy, our salvation, because he is the God that is faithful to his promises. When we are righteous, we have a promise with God. When we serve him and dwell in his house, using his word, living with his word, living through his word, like making his word our everyday life, then we know that God has promised that he will be our rock. And people will know that there's no unrighteousness in God, because there's a benefit in serving him. When we are in his house, we will thrive. We will conquer. No matter what happens, he is with us. So I want to encourage every one of us out there that we should stay planted in the house of the Lord. And he promises us that we shall flourish in the courts of our God. He will make sure that we bring forth fruit in old age, that we will remain full of sap, that we will have testimonials, we will be upright because our God is upright, and we will flourish in every area of our life.